Todd and Julie Chrisley fight to get friends out of prison. Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. Reality stars Todd and Julie Chrisley are fighting to get their friends out of prison now that they have been pardoned. The duo was released at the end of May 2025 after serving more than 2 years behind bars. Now they want to help others. But what are they doing? Keep reading for more details. When Todd and Julie Chrisley were sent to jail for a combined total of 19 years, their daughter was ready to fight. Savannah Chrisley took to every platform and did whatever she could and had to in order to be heard. Fortunately, she had campaigned on behalf of President Donald Trump and tried to work closely with his camp. It was a success, and he ultimately pardoned Todd and Julie, having them released within 24 hours. It has been a whirlwind, but Todd spoke at a press conference a few days after his release. At the press conference, Todd spoke about the men he met and how supportive they were of him. Furthermore, he wanted to help free them and be their voice. Now it seems that Julie is on board with this advocacy and freedom mission. She shared a story about a fellow inmate who was 77 and was the sweetest lady. Yet, if something did not happen to help her, she would die in prison. Julie added that she also met young women and mothers who had harsh sentences for small crimes. They were first-time offenders, and it made Julie Chrisley see that, even though she was released, she is not backing down. Todd Chrisley echoed how his wife felt and stated that he is on the visitors list for the men he left behind. He added that these young men deserve a second chance at life, especially since some of the things they are incarcerated for are now legal. They are committed to helping others achieve what they have. Plus, they have the platform to do so. Fans love to see it. Chrisley knows best fans are really happy for Todd and Julie Chrisley. They believe that they will be able to do incredible things and have learned from the experience. Many also agree that they will be proactive, and it does not hurt that everyone is watching them. They have to keep their promises because if they don't, it will be a major attack. That was the big hope, that they would not back down from fighting hard. Of course, some could not understand why Todd and Julie were free and felt they should serve more time. Additionally, they were unsure if they would hold up their end, but everyone will just have to wait and see. Todd and Julie Chrisley, once known for their lavish lifestyle and sharp wit on the hit reality series Chrisley Knows Best, are now making headlines for a completely different reason behind bars themselves. The couple is reportedly working tirelessly to help secure the release of fellow inmates they have grown close to during their time in prison. This unexpected turn has left fans stunned and intrigued by the new chapter unfolding in the lives of the embattled couple, who are no longer just reality stars, but vocal advocates for criminal justice reform despite the crushing weight of their own legal battles. Todd and Julie are said to have found purpose within the walls of their respective prison. Sources close to the couple reveal that both have become deeply invested in the lives and stories of fellow inmates, many of whom are serving lengthy sentences for nonviolent crimes or under questionable circumstances. Rather than retreating into isolation or despair, the couple has redirected their energy towards supporting others, offering hope and potentially altering the course of other prisoners' lives. Their efforts go beyond casual encouragement. According to insiders, both Todd and Julie have been collaborating with legal advisors, gathering case files, and working with advocacy groups to help shine a light on injustices they've witnessed firsthand. From what began as casual conversations in the yard or dining hall, relationships have evolved into emotional connections and a sense of duty that neither Chrisley had anticipated before entering the prison system. Those close to Todd say he has been particularly moved by stories of fellow inmates who he believes were failed by the justice system. He reportedly spends hours poring over documents, helping others draft letters, and appealing to outside organizations that champion prisoner rights and sentence reform. One individual he has grown especially close to is a man serving a lengthy term for a nonviolent drug offense, a case that Todd believes would have been treated far differently under today's standards. Julie, on her end, has reportedly bonded with several women who are serving sentences similar to hers, women whose stories are filled with struggles, systemic neglect, and in some cases clear injustice. Known for her quiet strength and maternal instincts, Julie has offered not only emotional support, but also taken an active interest in their legal situations. She has reached out to nonprofits, spoken to prison reform advocates, and even guided inmates through the process of seeking clemency and commutations. According to those familiar with the situation, Julie's compassion has blossomed into a deep conviction that every voice deserves to be heard, and every story deserves a second chance. The couple's unexpected pivot into advocacy comes at a time when their own legal situation is still evolving. After being convicted of bank fraud and tax evasion and sentenced to serve multiple years, Todd and Julie both filed appeals in hopes of overturning or reducing their sentences. While awaiting outcomes, they appear to have found an unlikely mission in helping others who may never have had the platform or privilege that once defined the Chrisley name. Their transformation from luxury-loving reality stars to passionate prison reform advocates has not gone unnoticed among inmate staff and legal observers. Some have praised them for using their notoriety for a cause greater than themselves. Others remain skeptical, questioning whether their motives are purely altruistic or an attempt to reshape public perception of their character. Yet regardless of motive, the results are real. Reports suggest that several cases involving inmates connected to Todd and Julie have now attracted the attention of legal teams and nonprofit organizations willing to explore further action. The ripple effect is being felt as momentum builds around some of the inmates' stories who would have otherwise remained invisible behind prison walls. One case in particular involves a young woman Julie befriended who was sentenced to decades in prison for a financial crime similar to Julie's, but without the benefit of high-profile legal representation or media coverage. The woman's story of desperation and poor legal counsel struck a deep chord with Julie, who has since made it her personal mission to get that story in front of decision-makers. Both Todd and Julie have acknowledged in private conversations that they once had little understanding of how the justice system truly works or how uneven the playing field can be for those without access to resources, fame, or legal support. Their own experiences has shattered old perceptions and inspired a new empathy that is driving their current actions. Even as they continue to appeal their own convictions, the couple has expressed a desire to be remembered for more than scandal and spectacle. They want to be remembered as people who found purpose in pain and turned a personal nightmare into a calling. Though their communication is limited by the rules of the prison system, Todd and Julie have reportedly found ways to coordinate and share information about the cases they're working on, passing notes through trusted intermediaries and using family phone calls to discuss strategy and progress. Those close to the family say this shared purpose has not only kept their bond strong during separation, but also given them a renewed sense of meaning amid the bleakness of prison life. Their children, too, have been made aware of their parents' new mission. While Savannah continues to advocate publicly for Todd and Julie's release, she has also spoken about how proud she is of the work they are doing behind the scenes. She says that for the first time in a long time, her parents feel like they are contributing to something larger than themselves, that they are giving hope to others who feel forgotten or beyond help. Critics of the couple may still point to their crimes and argue that this transformation is simply an attempt to gain favor ahead of future parole hearings or clemency requests, but those who have seen them firsthand say the change is real, that the Chrisleys, who once flaunted wealth and success, have been humbled by their experiences and are now seeking redemption not just for themselves, but for others who have no voice in an unforgiving system. This narrative shift comes at a moment when public sentiment around the criminal justice system is evolving. Calls for reform have grown louder in recent years, with increasing awareness about the flaws, biases, and inconsistencies that plague legal outcomes. Todd and Julie's high-profile status has given them a platform to amplify these concerns, and their personal investment in helping fellow inmates could inspire a broader conversation about who deserves a second chance and what justice truly looks like within these prison walls. The The Chrisleys have discovered stories that echo their own, but with harsher consequences and fewer advocates. They've learned that many inmates are not hardened criminals, but people who made mistakes in systems that offered little room for mercy or rehabilitation. It's a perspective that they likely never would have understood had they not lost everything themselves. Perhaps the most compelling aspect of Todd and Julie's fight is the emotional connection they now share with those they're helping. This is not charity from a distance. This is lived experience, shared trauma, and a genuine desire to see justice done in its truest form. It's not about erasing their own guilt, but about acknowledging that justice should be fair, compassionate, and consistent for everyone regardless of fame or fortune. As the months unfold, it remains to be seen how much of an impact Todd and Julie can truly have from behind bars. But one thing is certain: their focus has shifted from fame to purpose, from self-promotion to service, and from silence to advocacy. In a world where reality stars often fade into obscurity after scandal, the Chrisleys may have found an unlikely path to redemption and legacy. One inmate, one story, and one act of compassion at a time. Their mission may have started in confinement, but it speaks volumes about freedom, the kind that can still be found even when everything else is taken away. And that kind of freedom just might be the most powerful thing they've discovered yet. Do you believe that Todd and Julie Chrisley are committed to making a difference? Or are they just saying what they think people want to hear? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.